Hello, Artful Kids. Today I just want to talk about mixing colors. So often we mix colors in here, primary colors or making new colors, and I just wanted to go over some of the rules, routines, and procedures around mixing colors. All right? So today we're going to be mixing primary colors. So we've got our three primary colors, which are blue, red, and yellow. And then when we are mixing colors, black, if we add black to a color, then that creates a shade. If we add white to a color, that creates a tint. All right, so those are the ways to get colors lighter or darker by adding black or white. So when we're painting, you'll always have the containers that your paints are in, but also a water cup and a sponge here, and of course your extra brushes. All right, so let's get into it now. So when mixing colors, so I'm gonna mix from the primary colors to the secondary colors. So when mixing colors, you've got your mixing tray. So what we start to do, these are the pure colors right here. All right, this is the colors that everyone goes to get their set. All right, so when you do that, you're gonna use, and they all have their paintbrush. So these paintbrushes stay with their color. All right, so this is my palette. I'm going to scoop the colors I need. And often we're not using just primary colors, but you might be, you might have lots of different colors, but you want to make some of your own colors. And so you just scoop out the pure colors that you want into your palette. And then from there, you can create whatever you want. All right, so I'm using these brushes, right? They stay in here, right? Now, sometimes it happens, somebody accidentally takes this brush and they start mixing with this brush. No big deal. There's always extra brushes sitting here. So you can just grab an extra brush, put it in there, all right? But try not to do that. You've got your personal brush, and then these are the brushes that stay with the paint. All right, so then from there, you can start mixing your own colors. And you can mix your colors right onto your paper or onto your palette first, up to you. So maybe I'll make some green here. All right, so I've got some blue. So actually, I'm gonna mix some, two different colors. So I'm gonna make two piles of blue there. Then I'm going to wash my brush out. All right, I'm gonna wipe, and then I'm gonna wipe. I'm just gonna dry off on the sponge there. All right, so I'm gonna mix some red into that. Now purple, I have to tell you, purple is really difficult to mix. Purple is a bit tricky. So that's kind of a interesting purple. So that's my red and blue, makes purple. Now I'm going to mix, and I'm rinsing my brush, wipe, and dry off. And I'm gonna mix some yellow now. Now a little trick with mixing as well is that you want more of your lighter paint and less of your darker paint. All right, so that's kind of a nice green right there. Make my green. That was a good green. All right, now I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna rinse, stir, wipe, and then blot. There we go. All right, what should I make now? Orange. Okay, so I'm gonna scoop some red. Remember, less red, a bit more yellow. Ooh, I think I got too much red in there. All right, so I'm gonna come over here. Maybe I'll just mix in here. And these are the things you can do. You can change things around a little bit. I need a bit more yellow. So I'm gonna get some more yellow from the community pile here. All right, that makes more of an orange now. So it's all trial and error, right? With mixing colors. Mixing colors is really fun. All right, so there are my three secondary colors now. All right, so here's my palettes looking, getting a bit crowded. All right, so I'm gonna wipe this brush off now. So stir, wipe, dry off. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna make some tints now. I'm gonna add a little bit, remember a tint is when you add white. So I'm going to add a little bit of white to these colors that I've just mixed to make a lighter green. That's a tint, because I'm lightening it up. All right, all right. Stir, white, blocked. All right, so let's see, I'm gonna add some white to this to make a lighter orange. There we go, that almost comes out like a peach. Mixing colors is really fascinating. Well, hopefully we can spend some more time just playing around and mixing colors. All right, so now I'm gonna mix, I'm gonna make a shade now. So I'm gonna make a shade of red. I'm gonna add a little bit of black to red. So remember, black is really strong. So whenever you add black, you wanna add just a tiny bit because it's very strong. So that comes out like a nice deep red. All right, let's do blue now. Let's add a tint. So I'm gonna add white. I'm gonna make a light blue, like a light blue sky or a cloud or something. That's nice. All right, now let's add a shade to blue. Stir, white, blocked. Okay, let's add some, just a little bit. Oh, I probably added too much. I'm gonna get a little bit more blue. Remember, black is very strong. You just want a tiny little bit. Ooh, that's kind of pretty. But see, it's color mixing is really fun. All right, there we go. And then if you're working and your palette's getting super full, feel free to wash it out. You can go to the sink, give it a good wash. But yeah, you can always wash it, dry it out, and then start fresh. Now, one more thing I want to go back and talk about when you're putting paint onto your personal palette area. A little paint goes a long way, and you don't want to put in a huge pile of paint, just a scoop or two to start with, all right? Unless you're doing like a huge sky or ocean where you're gonna need a lot of paint, just a little bit. Start off with just a little bit because that doesn't waste paint, and then it makes cleaning up much easier. All right, so that is color mixing with tints and shades and primary colors.